the Bermuda Triangle, a place where ships vanish without a trace, planes disappear from radar, and compasses spin wildly in confusion. For decades, this mysterious patch of ocean between Miami, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda has captivated our imagination and fueled countless conspiracy theories. But what if I told you that the real mystery of the Bermuda Triangle isn't what's happening on the surface, but what lurks in its depths? Today, we're diving deeper than most documentaries dare to go, past the familiar tales of missing vessels and into the abyss where sunlight never reaches. Because the Bermuda Triangle's deepest secret isn't aliens, time portals, or the lost city of Atlantis. It's something far more terrifying, and it's been there all along. Before we plunge into the darkness, let's address the myths. The Bermuda Triangle has been blamed for over 50 ships and 20 aircraft disappearances. Popular theories range from magnetic anomalies to methane gas bubbles to extraterrestrial intervention. But scientists have long maintained that the rate of disappearances in this region isn't actually higher than any other heavily trafficked area of ocean with similar weather patterns. Case closed? Not quite. Because while we've been looking to the skies for answers, something ancient and nightmarish has been evolving in the Triangle's deepest trenches. The Bermuda Triangle contains some of the deepest parts of the Atlantic Ocean. The Puerto Rico Trench plunges to depths of over 27,000 feet, deeper than Mount Everest is tall. At these crushing depths, where pressure exceeds 8 tons per square inch, life shouldn't exist, but it does. And it's evolved into forms that would make our worst nightmares seem tame by comparison. Let's start with what we know. In 1945, Flight 19, a squadron of 5 Navy bombers, disappeared during a routine training mission over the Triangle. The final radio transmission from the flight leader contained these chilling words: "Everything looks strange, even the ocean." Hours later, a rescue plane sent to find them also vanished without a trace. What did they see that was so strange about the ocean? In 2015, the cargo ship El Faro sank during Hurricane Joaquin. Before communications were lost, the captain reported something unusual in the water, something that didn't match the hurricane patterns they were tracking. The black box was eventually recovered, but several minutes of the recording remained classified. What if these weren't just accidents or bad weather? What if something was hunting them? The average depth of the Bermuda Triangle is about 19,000 feet. That's where our journey begins. At this depth, no natural light penetrates. It's a realm of perpetual midnight, where evolution has taken bizarre and terrifying turns. Our first encounter is with the black dragonfish, one of the ocean's most efficient predators. Growing up to 2 feet long, this creature is covered in skin so black that it absorbs 99.5% of all light that hits it. This makes it virtually invisible in the deep sea, a phantom predator that strikes without warning. But its most terrifying feature is its jaws. The black dragonfish can unhinge its mouth like a snake, allowing it to consume prey larger than itself. And those teeth, they're transparent, making them invisible even when the fish opens its mouth. Imagine swimming in pitch darkness, sensing something nearby, but seeing absolutely nothing until those jaws snap shut around you. Even more disturbing is how the dragonfish hunts. It has photophores, light-producing organs, under its eyes that emit a red glow invisible to most deep-sea creatures. This gives the dragonfish a sort of night vision that allows it to see prey that can't see it. It's like a sniper with thermal goggles hunting victims in the dark. But the dragonfish is just the beginning of our descent into the Triangle's horrors. As we drop deeper to about 23,000 feet, we encounter one of the most ancient predators still swimming in our oceans, the Goblin Shark. Often called a living fossil, this creature has remained virtually unchanged for 125 million years. It was hunting in these waters when dinosaurs still roamed the earth. The Goblin Shark's most distinctive feature is its protrusible jaw, a nightmare adaptation that allows it to launch its entire mouth forward like a spring-loaded trap. When prey comes within range, the jaw shoots forward, covering nearly a foot of distance in less than a tenth of a second. Those needle-like teeth don't just bite, they impale. Scientists studying the Goblin Shark have noted something peculiar about specimens found in the Bermuda Triangle region. They're larger, much larger than those found elsewhere. While the average goblin shark grows to about 12 feet, triangle specimens have been recorded at lengths exceeding 18 feet. Something about this region is causing these ancient predators to grow to monstrous proportions. But perhaps the most unsettling thing about the goblin shark is its intelligence. Unlike most shark species, it exhibits complex hunting behaviors, including the ability to herd schools of fish into tight formations before attacking. Some marine biologists have even suggested that they hunt cooperatively, a behavior previously unheard of in sharks. Now, let's descend even further, to the very bottom of the Puerto Rico Trench, over 27,000 feet down. Here, where the pressure would crush a human body into something resembling tomato paste, we find perhaps the most terrifying creature in the triangle's depths, the giant isopod. Imagine a roly-poly bug the size of a house cat. These prehistoric-looking crustaceans are essentially deep-sea scavengers, but they're also opportunistic predators. With powerful mandibles that can tear through flesh and even thin metal, they typically feed on dead marine life that sinks to the ocean floor. But in 2013, something strange happened. A research submarine exploring the Puerto Rico Trench captured footage of dozens of giant isopods swarming over something large, something that was still moving. The footage was grainy, and the research team never officially identified what the isopods were attacking. But the size estimate was approximately 30 feet long. What's particularly disturbing about giant isopods is their feeding method. They don't kill their prey quickly. Instead, they latch on and begin consuming it while it's still alive, slowly working their way through flesh and organs. If a swarm of these creatures attacked a diver or someone who survived an initial shipwreck, their death would be excruciating and prolonged. But the true nightmare of the Bermuda Triangle's depths isn't any single creature. It's the ecosystem that has evolved there, hidden from human eyes. In 2018, an unmanned research vessel deployed by NOAA was mapping the seafloor in the triangle when it detected something unusual, a massive heat signature approximately 25,000 feet down. Initial readings suggested it was a hydrothermal vent, but when cameras were deployed, they found something else entirely. What they discovered was a massive congregation of deep-sea life, a sort of underwater oasis centered around what appeared to be a large geothermal feature. But unlike typical deep-sea thermal vents, this one emitted a strange bluish light. Surrounding it were thousands of creatures, many of which had never been documented before. Among them was something the research team simply called the colony, a massive organism that appeared to be a cross between a coral and a jellyfish. Stretching over 200 feet across the seafloor, this entity pulsated with bioluminescent light and seemed to be in constant, slow motion. More disturbing was how other creatures interacted with it, swimming into what appeared to be openings in its structure and never emerging again. Was this some kind of predator, a new species, or something else entirely? The research team couldn't say for certain, but what they did note was that the colony seemed to be affecting the behavior of other creatures around it, almost as if it were controlling them. This brings us to perhaps the most disturbing theory about the Bermuda Triangle's disappearances. What if they're not accidents at all? What if they're feeding events? Consider this. Many of the ships and planes that have vanished in the Triangle disappeared during perfectly clear weather. No storms, no technical malfunctions reported. They simply vanished. What if something was luring them in? Deep-sea creatures like the anglerfish use bioluminescent lures to attract prey. What if something in the Triangle's depths, something like the colony, has evolved a similar but more sophisticated method? Perhaps it doesn't use light, but electromagnetic pulses that interfere with navigation equipment, causing ships and planes to veer off course and into dangerous waters. In 2019, researchers from the University of Southampton detected unusual electromagnetic anomalies in the Triangle region. These pulses didn't match any known natural phenomenon and seemed to occur in patterns, almost like a heartbeat. More concerning was that these pulses intensified just before and during major storm systems, when ships and aircraft would be most vulnerable. Could these pulses be affecting human technology or even human minds? There are documented cases of pilots and ship captains in the triangle reporting sudden, overwhelming confusion or the compulsion to change course for no apparent reason. What if they were being influenced by something ancient and hungry in the depths below? The most recent development in this ongoing mystery came just last year when a private research vessel equipped with advanced sonar technology detected something massive moving through the deep waters of the triangle. The object was estimated to be over 300 feet long and moving against the current at a speed of approximately 15 knots, faster than most submarines can travel at that depth. No known marine animal grows to that size or moves at that speed at such depths. The research team tracked the object for approximately 13 minutes before it suddenly accelerated and disappeared from their sonar. Whatever it was, it displayed intelligent, deliberate movement patterns that suggested it wasn't just drifting with the currents. Was this the source of the triangle's mysterious disappearances? A creature so massive and ancient that it makes the megalodon look like a minnow? We may never know for certain. What we do know is that the ocean's depths remain largely unexplored. We've mapped more of the surface of Mars than we have of our own ocean floors. The Bermuda Triangle, with its unusual topography and extreme depths, could be hiding ecosystems and life forms that defy our current understanding of biology. Perhaps the real mystery of the Bermuda Triangle isn't that ships and planes disappear there. Perhaps the real mystery is that we continue to cross these waters at all, blissfully unaware of what might be watching us from below, waiting for the perfect moment to feed. The next time you hear about the Bermuda Triangle, remember that the most terrifying explanation isn't aliens or time portals or even human error. It's the possibility that something ancient and patient is hunting in those waters. Something that has been perfecting its methods for millions of years before humans ever set sail. And as we continue to explore and map the ocean's depths with increasingly sophisticated technology, we may one day come face to face with the true master of the Bermuda Triangle. The question is, are we prepared for what we might find? Because the ocean's greatest predators don't announce themselves with dramatic music or sudden attacks. They've survived for millions of years by being patient, by being clever, and by ensuring that their prey never sees them coming until it's far too late. The Bermuda Triangle doesn't need supernatural explanations. The natural world has already evolved horrors beyond our imagination in those lightless depths, and they're still down there, waiting in the darkness, as they have been since long before humans first ventured out onto the water. Sweet dreams and safe sailing.